Swans, the team that plays to win for you and me.
Welcome back, Shinboners. On today's pod, we will be reviewing yesterday's disappointing performance against the Swans. Lots of conversation from supporters after that one. We'll break it all down, talk about all the big talking points, but to help me get through it and to deliver some frustrations as well of his own that I'm sure he has, the big Chief is on once again. Chief, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad considering, but I want to win. I'm desperate for a win.
Well, I'll let you start for your biggest takeaway. Where are you heading there?
Well, we miss X. We miss the big man with the big heart and the big suspension. We just showed how much we need him in there because the other two rucks just couldn't compete with Grundy. And I understand Grundy's in great form, but X, even if he was beaten by Grundy, wouldn't have been annihilated like our two ruckmen were. And it just set them up. I think in the first half we were able to shark his taps pretty effectively, but it just wore us down. And in the last quarter, they got their synergy together, and I think it was 15-4 in the clearances to Sydney's way.
Well, my biggest takeaway from yesterday, pretty strong thoughts from me, is it's the same old story. So we play 3 quarters, we're in the game till about 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, and then we get annihilated in the last. And I'm starting to really question this group. We all believe that we're going to get there, but the signs aren't good. Like we've heard all season, Clarko talk about being in games at 3-quarter time, and that seems like it's enough. But we need to start winning these games. And you see the camera shots at 3-quarter time, and it's not like they're all grab a jumper in there. You know, this is our chance, boys. We're taking the 4 points. We're taking the next step. There just seems to be very much a comfortability in having a decent loss. Well, we played 3 quarters, we matched Sydney around the ball. There doesn't seem to be that hunger to want to improve that we were hearing from our leaders pre-season that, you know, we're desperate, we're going to leave no stone unturned to get better. And that hunger isn't being translated to on-field, definitely in body language. Like, you should be raring to go for that last quarter. Like, we're right in this against the Swans.
Yep, absolutely.
And for the last, there's probably only a handful of games that we haven't been in at 3-quarter time. But how many have we won?
Well, do you think that's the messaging from the top?
Well,
we want to be in games at 3-quarter time. Oh, we're in this. We're only 2 goals down.
Well, I think they're just too comfortable that, we put ourselves in that position. There's not enough pressure. Pressure's probably not the right word, but there's not enough drive to win those games. There seems to be a comfortability that, we were in it. Well, that's not good enough anymore.
No, it's
We're
not.
6 years into this rebuild.
Yes.
We're not seeing the progress that we should at this stage.
Well, I think when the message from your senior coaches, you want to be in at 3-quarter time, and we are they giving themselves a little tick?
Well, that's what it appears from the outside looking in.
Yes, you'd like to think not, because I thought our effort was pretty good, because my biggest worry at this time of year, and we saw it last year in the last 2 rounds, but I don't want to see these next 5 games where you just switch off and think about booking our trip to bloody Oktoberfest. They'll be back in pre-season in October.
That was embarrassing. Like the last fortnight last year.
No, I know, that's what I mean. I don't want to see.
And for your senior coach to come out and say, we'd switched off. Well, that's not good enough from him as well. So if that happens again this year,
I know, and 5 weeks of it is too long. But I was happy with their effort yesterday. But we just weren't polished enough, as we'll get into when you break the game down. But we can't. We've got to maintain the effort, and we've got to start. Instead of saying we're in it at 3-quarter time, we've got to be in it at 4-quarter time, full time, don't we? We've got to be.
Well, if that's the next step,
fighting for the win in the last quarter.
Well, if the next step was to be in it at 3-quarter time, how about we don't concede 5 goals in the first 5 minutes like we seem to do every 4th quarter and be out of it? How about we win it with 5 minutes to go?
Yeah, well, to be fair, the first half of last year we were conceding 5 in the first 5 minutes of the game and we're out of it. So we have improved there. But I think what you said earlier in your little rant at the start, I think the players thought they'd just improve. I think the whole club thinks, we're just going to improve this year. And we have improved, but nowhere near as much. And we're now 17th on the ladder, thanks to Richmond winning. Who would have had that on their bingo card?
Not us.
No. So that's, and we've got Richmond in a massive game, second last round. And both teams have St Kilda. So if Richmond beats St Kilda, it's almost puts them beyond reach.
Yeah.
We've got to beat St Kilda and then beat Richmond to guarantee finishing above them.
Right, well, let's get into the match notes. And it started off with... I got angry an hour before the game because my thoughts.
It's not a great start when
know
you're
my
angry
thoughts.
before the game.
You know my thoughts on this. You should never make a debutant the sub.
No.
So that pissed me off to start, Clarko and the coaching group, but Clarko's the main man.
Well, who should they made the sub? Because it was a pretty hard sub to pick.
Well, if they're going to pick a small forward, it should have been Constanti.
Yeah, but his effort the week before was pretty good. We were happy with it, weren't we?
We were, but...
I understand what you're saying, but when Cassandi was named on the bench with him, it was either going to be Teakle. I didn't think it was going to be Teakle. I actually thought it was going to be Banch, but I agree with you, it shouldn't have been. But the other option was probably Teakle, with hardly like for like, although he can't end up coming on for CCJ, or Will Phil. And I don't think Will Phil deserved to be dropped to the sub.
No,
So it was probably going to be Cassandi, but he'd probably done enough the week before. He had a pretty good game, especially in the first half. So it was just unfortunate.
It was, right?
But you've got to put the team before the emotion too.
Yeah,
The sentiment, whatever you want to call it. You've got to put this team first football that we want them to play. Know your role. Well, his role was the sub.
Well, hopefully round one next year, it's scrapped.
No, it's got to get rid of it. But I think... what's his name?
Greg Swan.
Greg Swan will fix a lot of... Well, hopefully he comes in and fixes a lot. We'll talk about this more in the off-season when we're not reviewing games. We'll be reviewing winning games from the AFLW, but not the men's... When the men's season's over, we'll have a look at what we think Swans should do, because hopefully he comes in and actually does something, doesn't just form committees to look into it for 3 years. Actually do something.
Right, let's get into the match notes for what we're focusing on. So the first quarter... Charlie Comben going forward was the decision which our man, the Kanga Merchant, who was our, provides fantastic training notes on X if you're about there. He was saying earlier in the week that Chom was training forward. That's where he ended up playing. And Will Dawson, he threw McLean, tried to throw him about, and he sat him on his ass and gave him a few jumper punches.
Yeah, loved it.
For the bounce.
I loved it. I thought there'd be a whistle and there'd be a goal from the goal square. Because there was a battle of strength, and young Shotgun won it. Unfortunately, that was about the last contest he won for the day. But he won that one, and I liked it against a more senior opponent. Good on the umpires for not blowing a soft whistle and giving them the perfect start with a goal from the goal square for a free kick, because he won the battle of strength. But, yeah, poor old Shotgun didn't have his best game in defence.
No, well, let's get into the notes. And we were talking about his physicality we liked, but CCJ, nowhere near physical enough in that first quarter on Grundy.
No, well, look, we watched the game together, and I said to you, when Grundy got that tap out to probably Gordon snap kicked it, Heaney marked it, Parker lost touch with him. When they showed the replay, and even at the time, you could see they had body contact, but he's just touching him. He's not trying to push him out of the way or force him under the ball or put any pressure. It was just a token push of the arm. It's not enough. Now, that's why we missed my man. My man would have pushed him over and probably given away a free kick and got suspended.
No, but you're fighting...
I'm only joking, but he would have... There wasn't enough physical pressure on Grundy from either ruckman, but CCJ wasn't out there, unfortunately, for long. He just wasn't physical enough.
Yeah, and when you're fighting for your career, both ruckmen out of contract.
Yeah, and you don't want to give frees away, but they're just not 100%, not physical, and Grundy just did whatever he liked.
Well, let's talk some positives from that first quarter, because there's going to be lots of negatives in this pod as we've started, but let's get some positives. I thought Luke Davies-Uniacke, he had a great start.
Yep.
Really showed why we missed him so much last week.
And on him, his kicking was good. He tried not so much the hard dart kicks, but they were a lot lower. They were to advantage. Yeah, and I thought his kicking was much improved, because he can be a bit of a long, high dump kicker, but he was pretty good with his kicking, I thought.
I thought Jack Darling had a great first quarter. Sticky Jukes taking some big contested marks. Speaking of, Tess Teakle took that huge clunk. Kicked the first goal, which was great, and another positive, Mini Boomer, just finding the big sticks, as we know that he loves to do.
Yeah, because Sandy got the rove and got the handball out quick hands out to him, and he finished. Which is what you're paid to do as a small forward, because you don't get many opportunities, and he didn't.
Well, that's the knock on
Or
Constanti.
none of them did, really, did they?
That's the knock on Constanti, isn't it? He has those opportunities and doesn't convert anywhere near enough, but he has the pressure.
Yeah.
Whereas Coop, the question mark might be on his pressure, but his finishing's elite in front of goals.
Yeah, well, he's a natural small forward, natural goal kicker.
Right, let's get into the negatives. I want to start with the Toby Pink one.
I thought Will Phil was pretty good at sharking the ruck taps, particularly in the first half. I thought he was pretty good in there. He had some moments like where he wasn't, but I thought centre bounce, he was pretty good at sharking it. Anyway, move on. Negatives.
Well, I'm going to go to the umpiring because Toby Pink took a mark and there should have been 2 50s.
Oh, my God. I forgot about that.
It was horrendous. First of all, the Sydney player gave it to the North player to kick it back. And then
first of all, they played on. Wasn't he paid?
Oh, yeah.
He played the free kick.
And then Gordon took about 10 steps.
And kicked it away. Continued. So that's the first 50. That should have been a 50. We're about a bit behind centre.
Oh, it was nearly level.
Yeah.
Centre square.
Yeah, so that would have got him a shot at goal. We know he's a goal kicker up in Sydney.
Yeah. And the second one, the Sydney player picked it up and just palmed it to the North player, which you've got to give it straight back.
Yeah, to the correct player.
Yeah. Sorry, he gave it, to...
Explain.
Not to Toby Pink. He
gave it to a North player 50 metres away from
Toby.
Yeah, 50 metres away from Toby Pink. It's your responsibility to get it back to the right player. So there's 2 50s the umpire missed. That would have put him on the goal line.
But there was a woeful non-call. Even Jared Healy, the most biased commentator of all time, saw the push on Dawson that didn't get paid from Buller.
Yeah, even Jared, who was never happy even when they were having a shot at goal because there should have been a free kick to Sydney 2 stages of the play.
Well, he's on the podium for worst commentator.
I've got my worst duo, right? We've had them both back to back. Kelly Underwood last week was horrendous, and because she gets the names wrong, she said the scores are changed again, and they hadn't. She just makes so many mistakes. And Jared Healy is just completely biased.
Yeah, and he's terrible.
Yeah, and he's too old. I mean, he's got to move on. And yeah, that'd be if maybe someone can put in the comments their worst duo. Seeing we're in the negative part of the pod, we're going to stay with a negative theme. Yeah, Kelly Underwood as lead commentator and Jared Healy as special comments. Sydney special comments or anti-North special comments.
I'll put Cameron Ling on the boundary if Geelong are playing as well.
God, yeah. There's lots of them, but yeah.
That's the thing that annoyed me the most, though. So we played CCJ and Teakle, 2 rucks. Why the hell was Jack Darling rucking in the first quarter when we had both of them?
Yeah,
just stupid.
Don't know.
I mean, obviously CCJ ended up with the calf injury, and we'll get to that in a minute about what that means for the future for him. But to have Darling rucking made no sense at all. It was just
not when they're both on there and available.
No, and the selection call to play 2 rucks. Well, then what's the point of having Darling rucking? Should have just played 1 ruck. It's just
I think
ridiculous.
Teagle was played as a second ruck forward, and CCJ was going to be the main ruck. But they were clearly going to have to double team Grundy because, I mean, it's 2 C graders going up against an A grader. So I was just going to have to try and grind him down and run off him and make him work and wear him out, which they did to a little bit. He was a bit less effective in the last quarter, although their clearances went skyrocket because he kept winning the taps. They could not win a tap, and they're both... Teakle's taller than him.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But he's just slow.
But they stand side by side at the tap. He should have at least been able to halve it. He had 80, or they had 80 wins. I think Grundy had 72 or something.
Oh, it was embarrassing.
Like clean, that's clean taps. Anyway. Just shows how much we miss All-Australian X, who now won't be All-Australian.
Well, it also shows how poor the depth is behind him.
Yeah. That's why we're going to have to keep one of them on the list until Goad's ready to come in.
Some other negatives. I thought our midfield fell asleep at stoppage way too often, particularly on Heaney and Warner. Luke Parker and Tom Powell, both examples in that first quarter of just being too reactive and too busy hunting the ball and ball watching while a Heaney or a Warner got out the back of the stoppage.
Yeah.
Right, let's get to the second quarter. I thought there were some great moments. We had some slick ball movement, particularly through the corridor with some handball chains. It was good. Our pressure really lifted. It was above 200 on the pressure rating.
Yes.
We were the better side, but we had zero polish. But Jai Simpkin, we said this while watching the game, obviously made some turnovers. He did not miss a target on his left foot.
No, he was elite on his left.
He needs to stick to just pure left foot use.
I think so. He was really good on his left foot. And he's just got to clean his right foot up. But he was very good on his left. I thought he had a good game on the wing.
We found plenty of the footy, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, we were good in the... There was game on. This is why it's disappointing you end up losing by 5 odd goals. Because it was game on. Right up till 3/4 time. You know, they got a few marks we didn't expect on Shotgun. Poor Shotgun couldn't get a fist in, and they had a couple of unknowns take marks and kick goals. But we were right in it. We had a few forwards with rubber chests. I mean, Chom on the lead just could not get a mark because he couldn't shake his man by... You only need half a yard to a yard separation, and he'll clunk those. We just couldn't get that. They got the fist in.
But turnovers killed us. That's the problem.
Yeah, but our last time we played them, Clarko said in the presser they're a great corridor side, and they ran it through the corridor all day and beat us by 80. At least this time we clogged the corridor, we forced them wide.
We were hard to score against.
We were very hard to score against. Our intensity, what you say, was over 200, our pressure rating. We clogged the corridor. I thought, big tick to our defensive planning and setup and execution. Because you can plan all you like. If the players are in fairyland and don't obey their instructions and play their role, it goes nowhere. But, yeah, big tick defensive setup.
I've got here as well for Constanti, pressure A+, kicking F.
Yeah, well, that sums him up. He's got to get his kicking up to a C+, doesn't he?
There was a moment where he was bursting inside our forward half and just shanked the kick. Yeah. He's just got to be better than that.
Well, as a small forward, you have to be. That's our kicking, once again, it lets us down. Even our handballing, and we'll get into that, no doubt. But
we have too many players that don't have any polish and just make simple mistakes.
Yeah, yep.
Which is incredibly frustrating. I didn't take many notes in the second half, but our ball use was horrible. I think Jai on a wing works. Leave him there. I mean, he needs to tidy up his use, but he kicks a good goal.
2 years on this. He's got the fitness to run. He's just got to learn or refine the role because he's been around long enough. And I think it's good. I think he had a really good battle. We had lots of possessions. His left foot, as we said, was really good.
He held his width well as well.
Yeah, which you have to as a winger. It's the most specialised position on the field.
And it was a position that when we started the pod, we thought we'd had locked in with Scott and Dill Stevens, but now Scott's out of the side. Stevens is shaky at best.
Well, his form's fallen off. We gave him his dues, about 2 months ago when he had a nice patch of form, 4 or 5, 6 weeks maybe. But his last 3 or 4 have been back to his former self.
It just has not impacted whatsoever.
No, it just doesn't. And that stuff up where he almost cost us a goal because he came in from the wing. And I can't remember who it was. Zerha leading up and knocked it, spoiled Zerha effectively. And luckily Harry cleaned it up and kicked a goal. But you've got to have better awareness than that, don't you? You're running from the wing, you can see where they're kicking. You should be able to see Zerha, that's his leading lane, and stay out of it. But maybe he thought Zerha's going to hold and I'll run into it and get an easy one. So I suppose mistakes can happen, but it didn't look great on the TV when we're struggling to hang in the game.
No, but pretty much the same message throughout the 4 quarters, that the skill level was just the difference. And I haven't seen Clarko's press yet, but rinse and repeat. That's what we hear every week, that they're just a more polished side. And no doubt, did he say that they're a good side? Because he would have said that.
I can't remember. I did are we going to talk about his presser now or do that after the fourth?
We'll do that after because I think he features on the watch list. So.
Oh.
But then, Jai with some good footwork at the stoppage to set up the Harvey goal. Now, Jai I've seen lots of comments on social media. Obviously, he had a good and bad game. Like, yes, he made turnovers, but I thought he was probably, in terms of impacting over the 4 quarters, he was the best. But he's just got to clean those turnovers up and he'll be back to his Sid Barker best. I liked seeing him on the wing. He just makes too many simple mistakes on his right foot.
Yeah, You name a player for North yesterday who didn't have a turnover.
No,
No,
obviously.
I'm just saying it's pretty hard, isn't it?
Well, let's talk about others.
I'm
Because
not saying his were hard, but that's us as a team.
we went at 40% by foot for most of the game. Sheasel was horrific by foot.
Yeah.
He went at 41% for the
Yeah.
game by foot.
That's terrible. Anyway,
Colby he had some bad turnovers, and then he got tagged out of the game after half time.
well, I don't know out of it. He got tagged from the second half, or it might have even been before half time, I reckon. But anyway, we'll go the second half. He still had 9 possessions. If you're getting hard tagged and still have 9, I know a couple might have been kick-ins, so let's say 4. You're not being tagged out of it.
Well, I think he had zero impact in the second half.
Effectiveness, but yeah, you're still getting the ball. But 22 possessions, I think he was probably our third or fourth highest. Not that it's about possessions. I'm only going like Jai and LDU had more. I don't know who else had more than him.
Mini helmet.
Yes, he did. All right. This was very hard to do, but we're going to throw to the most prestigious award in all of the AFL, the Basti.
Right, I'm going to go first, and the clear best on ground for me yesterday was a man that in 21 minutes we actually haven't mentioned,
I know.
which is outrageous.
He's
but
going to get his dues now.
He will, and that was Finn O'Sullivan. What a performance from him! So composed. He went by 80. He had 85% disposal efficiency, so he was very clean with ball in hand. I think he might have been one player that didn't have a turnover, Chief, because
He might have been, actually.
he was really good defensively and offensively. What a star he's going to be! Like, he looks so cool, composed. He's untackleable, as I tell you. The only time he got tackled yesterday was to create a stoppage because we had no one out.
Yep.
Really impressed with his game. He was everywhere. So I gave him the 5 votes after a really good performance. I've just got his stats here. He had 20 disposals at 85% disposal efficiency. So that's exactly what you want.
And he's winning his disposal. He's not getting... Not that kick-ins are cheap, because I think you're under a lot of pressure trying to create some run and movement out of the back line. But he gets all his in the contest.
4 votes I gave to Luke Davies-Uniacke, 26 disposals at 77%. He also had 5 clearances. So I thought he went in and out of the game a little bit too much, but he had the 26. His burst was there. I thought, like you mentioned prior, that his ball use has improved since probably in the second half of the season, but it was hard to give votes. I thought Foss was the clear standout, and then after that it was pretty tough. 3 votes I've given to Toby Pink. I think he lost one-on-one battle all day to Heaney, who was like prime Dusty for a while there. Like, he was unstoppable on the lead. He was killing you. But I thought he battled really hard, got a fist in well, stood up for the defence. Was just impressed with his game.
Yep.
Didn't try and do too much, just beat his man.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to ask for, and that this is not a midfielder's award.
No, it's not.
The 2 votes I gave to Jai Simpkin, he would have got the clear 5 if his ball use was better. But he had 28 disposals. He had 26 kicks. I've just looked here.
Yeah.
That's outrageous. But he had a kick to goal.
He had about 6 on his left, and they all hit the target.
Oh no, they just needs to move permanently to his left, I think. So he gets the 2 votes, and then the 1 vote in a day that was horrific for all our forwards. I thought Darling competed well, and he also gets the vote because I thought he competed really well as a second ruck after CCJ went down, especially against Laddams in that last quarter, or McLean, someone he was giving a lot of size away to. He kicked a goal. Thought he took some good marks around the ground.
He's
and
very safe
just competed well.
in front of goal. Like, set shot, you think, yeah, he's been really good. Also, you wouldn't have been expecting to do much rucking. He didn't ruck last week because Finbar took them, and we still got his leg bandaged and padded up, so he would have gone off. Finally, we're playing 2 ruckmen. I don't have to do it, and then after quarter time, he's in it, or even before quarter time, as you said.
To be honest, he would have been better rucking the whole game than bloody Teakle getting flogged by. Although, just to sidetrack, I thought what Teakle did do well was he held his width and was an outlet kick a lot as
he
well.
had a lot of possessions.
He had 14, I think.
I think he had 17 or 18.
Oh.
But you
While you do your bestie,
you can look that up. But I thought his round the ground.
He did have 17.
Yeah, work was good, but his ruck work was not good. He just got flogged. But I mean, Grundy is probably going to now take X's spot in the All Australian. So not good. Look, I've given 5 to Foss. You covered him. He's just really, really good. Very happy with that pick. Pick 2. He's playing like a pick 2. He's not getting the high 30s, but he's beating his man. He's halving contests, and he's composed with the ball, and he uses it well. I think that's tick, 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 tick.
Well, his 20 is better than most 30.
Yeah. LDU, I thought he showed how much we missed him the week prior. He just gives our midfielder a more dangerous look with his explosion. He didn't have Big X there to feed him, or at least nullify Grundy.
And he did have...
So, I mean, he's normally the hit 2 target. He's the one we want to release with the ball. And he didn't have that advantage because we had to try and shark the ball and rove off Grundy.
He did have Rowbottom paying close attention as well.
Yes, and he got a couple of free kicks for holding. That must have surprised him as much as it did you and I. I gave Jai 3. I thought he was really good on the wing. Yes, he turned the ball over a few times, but joined the North Melbourne Football Club. Hodges. I've been calling for him to be there for a while because there are so many midfielders. I think he's got the pace, the stamina to do that role. He's got the Jai step, so he can get out of traffic and certainly get round one player. And I thought he was quite damaging out there. Hardiman, I gave 2 votes to. I thought he was good out of the back line. He might have been another one who didn't have many turnovers. I can't remember. He does drive the ball long, so at least he gets it to a 50-50 contest. He can provide a bit of run. The ball was in our back line too much. And another backman, and this might get people up and about, but I thought Griff Logue played probably his best game for the year. Great. He had 1 or 2 horrendous turnovers, and I want to talk about one of them. But this is the Bassi, so we'll be positive, and then we might go a bit negative. He got some really good intercept marks in a game where the Bassi doesn't run that deep. I thought, I'm going to give you 1, Griff. You showed a bit for me with your intercept marking, so I'll give it.
No arguments here.
Gave him the 1.
Hang on, before we move on to the watch list, I just want to talk about the Basti. Now, I'm very happy for listeners to provide feedback if you don't agree with us.
Absolutely.
The only thing I will say is, as I had to say to someone on the socials...
We got some feedback.
He thought we were just picking Colby and Harry for Supercoach points when they were both in the coaches' votes. Anyway,
well, can I just say...
justify myself, hang on. But I'm more than happy to have the debate around... But just put your 5 up as well. Like, tell us who's in instead of... I'm just going to say, because it will be him. Instead of Jai, or instead of Logue.
Or instead of X. I wanted to put X5, because it just showed how much we missed him, with him not being there. But X is way out in front, by the way. But Colby, I would have had him in the votes. Except he had 2 really bad turnovers. Now, I think he had... I think Jai had like 800 metres gained as well. Like, that's... I think that was probably the most on the ground, or certainly the most for North. Colby had the one where he went across the goal to Pink under there's no pressure by AFL and his standard, and ended up out of bounds, and then Pink gave away a free kick or something.
Oh,
they ended up having a shot from the boundary, yeah. And then he had the one in the last quarter where he turned it over, and I reckon he just didn't see him. But anyway, that's still a bad turnover, cost us a goal, and that cost Colby being in the votes for me.
Well, we just didn't...
And I know Logue had a couple of turnovers as well, but I expect more from Colby. Can I talk about Logues?
Yes.
We'll go to the watch list. This is a list you don't be on because Griff's on that. So you and I were watching it together, and Logue, I think he took an intercept mark. He might have run, had a bounce, or maybe not a bounce, but he ran.
He did have a bounce?
Yeah, he ran and he opened on the wide expanses of the SCG. Not a care in the world. Until he kicks it straight to freaking... I think he should have gone boundary to a contest, like long 50 metre down the line, and he's brought it inboard. There were 2 Swans there. They could have raffled it.
He thought he was Colby. He's I'm going to laser this through.
And it was he'd done so well, and then he did that, and you and I just looked at each other, and all we could do was laugh. That was all we could do, because, I mean, I know, Griff, what were you thinking?
He thought he was the user.
But he wasn't... He's missed the target by 30 metres and kicked it straight to them, and they're open in the corridor to then try and use the corridor. They're the turnovers They kill us.
Yeah, simple.
I'd rather him
turnovers.
kick it down, to, let's just say, CCJ, Darling, whoever's there, get a
John.
stoppage, get it out of bounds, hopefully take a mark. At least if they win it back, it's a slow play for them. But he's obviously kicked it off his ankle or something to miss by that much. But under no pressure, just, la-di-da down the wing and then a horrendous turnover. But anyway, unfortunately, we have too many players to do that. But I'd like I said before, to build him back up again. The intercepting mark he clunked were good.
Right, who's on the watch list? What are we grading them?
Barley Scott played in the twos. I don't think he did much. Didn't only watch the last quarter of the twos, so I can't give great commentary on the twos. Griff Logue, look, I've given him a vote, so I'm giving him a tick.
I agree.
Okay. He hasn't had a tick for a while, let me
No.
tell you. Nick Larkey didn't play, and he's almost off, but he's got to get a game to get off. And what you were saying to me off air, you don't think he'll play again?
Well, I don't think that swing Chum forward for a week. If they, I'd think there's concerns whether he'll get back.
5
That's
games
what
to
I've
go.
heard.
I think he'll come back if he can, but
It's PCL.
yeah, it's
Or
slight
MCL,
tell.
one
It
of
depends how quick they heal, I suppose. But yeah, he won't play next week.
Against Geelong.
Yeah.
Well, you ruled him out already. You've been talking to Kevin.
I don't think if he could hardly train this week, could he? Did he get out on the actual training paddock?
I don't think so.
No, so he's got to be more than a week away if he can't do that. Unless he's Jim Steins reincarnated. Aidan Corr's still battling injury. He hasn't had a chance. The North Warriors, right, fair dinkum. What the hell was that defence? It went for about 15 seconds. I think we did a longer defence on this pod.
It was
I'm
disgrace.
trying to tackle. That was their defence, wasn't it?
I tried to hit him in the chest or something, they said.
Yeah, and then the bloody Gleeson, the chairman of the tribunal, said, because I don't think North went hard enough on the impact of
Salem hitting
Salem
Simpkin.
pushing Simpkin, who then he pushed him with force, and we saw the Carlton bloke, Ben Camporelli, get 4 weeks in the VFL. I don't know if anyone's seen that, but that was a centre bounce stoppage. He's pushed his man, who I think was Devon Robertson, into another Brisbane player and knocked his teeth out. It was pretty bad, but it was what they do, because the umpires don't pay it. That's the whole problem. They don't pay the push in the back. When I was growing up as a kid, if you got pushed in the back trying to get a ground ball, it was a free kick. Now it's gone out the window. It's only if it's in a marking contest they seem to want to pay it, and even then half the time they don't. What has happened to the ground ball push in the back? Anyway, so Camporelli got cannonballed into it. 2 Brisbane blokes hit heads. They both go off injured for the game. And Camporelli gets 4 weeks. Now, if that was 2 North players, they'd probably get 4 weeks for headbutting each other. I mean,
Big fail.
where was the North defence that showed the force, show the impact, show the fact he lowered his body and therefore contributed heavily to the front-on impact of an arm where he's trying to grab to tackle? I think the defence the whole thing went for 20 minutes or something.
It's ridiculous.
And now we've got Melbourne. Have you seen that? The Melbourne...
Stephen May.
Yeah, that'll be interesting, how that comes off. I haven't watched that closely enough, but
He doesn't have the North tax.
he's got the Melbourne Suki Lala
It
tax.
should be 3 weeks if they're going
But
to.
they're talking on the radio. I was listening to ABC today. They're talking 5 or 6.
Well, that's what Kingy wants, yeah. But it has to be at least 3.
But wasn't that a marking contest? Because then they're trying to compare it to... Well, I think he got there 0.6 of a second late or something. So no doubt the Melbourne will have decent lawyers. Will bring all that up and he'll probably get off. But
They'll call them.
our lawyers, I tell you what, North, sack them. I don't care who you are. You've had 3 chances this year.
And they've been.
I don't care if you've been a 100-year member. Well, you probably have, because you probably... I don't know what's
probably
going
can't
on.
afford.
We
Call
probably
the
can't
members,
afford.
you reckon?
I don't know what's going on, but I thought it was a weak defence. And then they should have appealed it, because Gleeson said in his summing up, even if he was pushed, I don't think it would have made any difference. Well, you're still going to get him higher. He said some weak excuse. And I thought, well, surely the grounds to appeal that, because he hasn't taken into consideration these external factors. I would have appealed on that.
It was
And that's
horrific.
10 grand we can't afford, I know.
Horrific defence.
They've had all week.
They worded up.
They had the bloke. Who was the bloke? You're going to mention on the pod. Who put up on the socials on Facebook?
Oh,
or whatever.
Andy Mack, I think it was.
Yeah, put up all the diagrams and the He spent more time on that than the bloody lawyers did. I bet you the lawyers are quick to put the hand out for the cash, though.
Yeah. Give it to the member instead.
It's very frustrating, and it shows how much we miss him, because if he plays, Heaney doesn't get off the chain, we're a big chance to win.
Yeah, and Grundy doesn't have his own footy.
They're not having 80 tap-outs against X.
No.
And X will do well around the ground, as in the follow-up work. And Teakle, to his credit, did well, as you point out, with his 17 possessions around the ground. But they also, Clarko at his presser, said that Teakle was cramping. So that's why Darling had to ruck a lot in the last quarter.
There you go. Because he wouldn't be used to rucking that much in the twos.
That's exactly right, because Teakle's been playing forward in the twos. Anyway, this is the watch list, and we got way off, but the North Lawyers, I'm engraving them on the watch list. I don't know what they can do to get off.
They'll have to get someone off of a 6-week ban or something like that.
They can't get off, in my opinion. They're engraved in gold.
Yeah, horrific. Right, who's next?
I'm just calming down. I'm on there. I'm on there from my phone. It's on silent again, so I'm off. Tick. Do you agree?
Well,
I suppose it's a bit AFL-ish if I just make them my own rules.
Yeah, all right, Andrew Dillon.
Yeah, I've had 5 ticks out of the last 6 weeks.
Right, keep going.
Okay. Cal Dawson, he's off. He's on the watch list. He wasn't good in the VFL, the bits I saw.
He'll be off the list in about 6 weeks.
He will not be playing in 2026. There's not a big call, but that's a call. Fisher, I don't think he did much. I didn't watch enough of the reserves.
I watched the first quarter, and then I've had some correspondence with some keen VFL listeners, and they said that Scott and Fisher, and this was pretty similar to what the Frog said as well.
The Frog watched it.
Yeah, that their use was still crap in the VFL.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's like Charlie Lazaro last year. His use was poor in the VFL, even though he was racking up 30 possessions every
Fisher
week.
better not come in this week.
No way. We're going to Melbourne this week. What's the game?
Oh,
I'm going to watch a debutant.
yes, I think so.
We'll get to that, though. So Fisher, you can't get off the watch list on the VFL. Clarko's on there, and you want to talk about Clarko. Do you? No, we're just talking about...
Well, my biggest takeaway, I think, was just too much of a... I think it's club-wide that, we're in the game at three-quarter time. I think there's definitely, within the four walls, there's too much of a acceptance of losing. Like, we're on that path. They don't seem hungry enough to change it right away.
Well, I'm going to give Clarko a tick for this comment. Have you watched his presser? No. He said there's a PC tax, that he gets held a lot off the ball. I mean, the Clarko's flying close to you're going to get a fine from the AFL, because he said he wasn't an expert on umpiring and concussion last week. And now he's saying he's basically saying the umpires aren't paying PC free kicks, but then PC's getting the 2 rough tax.
Did he say that?
Yes.
Oh, good. All right.
So that's a tick. That's a tick for mine, Clarko. You go and defend your man. The AFL won't like that at all. So it'll be interesting. But he's absolutely 100% right. And hopefully, we won't give it to the North lawyers to find the vision. We'll give it to our listeners on the socials who will find it. And you can see lots of free kicks he should have got. That one when he's on the boundary, he's trying to get up. He's done nothing to the bloke. Well, he hasn't got the ball. He just gets flattened again. How often do they pay that? A free
If
kick?
that was Dacos, you'd get 6 weeks.
Well, it'd be a free, and that would have been a shot of goal. But that's... He's getting held a lot, and he didn't have a great game. Few North players, Will Phil, don't know if your man Cam dropped a mark or not, but
Will Phil had too many fumbles.
Will Phil dropped, and he dropped a chesty at about 55 out, and he got ignored by, it might have been Jai, don't quote me on that, but he got ignored by someone when he was on his own, just outside the 50, and he went berserk.
It was Dawson.
Oh, was it? Yeah, it was shotgun. Because he only
knows how to kick it.
He only kicks at 50, 55. But the way he reacted, I thought, there's a man who's under pressure. That's what I thought. But then when someone did kick it to him, it might have been Jai kicked it to him, and he dropped it off his chest.
Hang on, before you get to the next person, I've got breaking news from the match review. Stephen May sent straight to the tribunal, so it'll be 3 or more. There you go.
Well, or he'll get off. Because they'll have decent lawyers.
Yeah, right. I'm sick of talking about lawyers. Get to the next.
Welcome to the legal podcast. Right, who's on there? Clarko will give him a tick. Daniel, CD, mini helmet.
It was average. He wasn't terrible, but he wasn't good.
Well, I liked his kicking. His kicking, right? I don't think that's improving. Like, it's safe at best. It's not damaging. Okay. I thought his handball in the congestion was pretty good. His quick hands. And they should be quick. That's the only thing quick about him. But I would be happy to give him a tick.
Well, it's your list.
I'm giving him a tick then.
I don't like it, but anyway.
Okay, well, you can argue. That's not that we all agree, Pod.
No, I've already said I don't think he was
Well,
good.
what did he do
bad? I just don't think he's just.
He was
he
in.
has meaningless.
Was he in?
He has meaningless touches. They don't do anything.
No, but the meaningful ones are in the congestion when he gets the ball and he gets quick hands out and actually hits the target.
Do you know what
That's what I liked about his game yesterday. He's, stuff from kickouts was safe, average, slightly above at best.
I think Eddie Ford or Zane Dersma could be doing the exact same role and being a lot better.
I don't think they've got the quick hands in around the congestion to hit a target.
Oh, I disagree.
Like when there's 4 or 5 blokes round the loose ball at half back.
I think Zane would.
Okay. We'll get to Zane. Are we going to discuss the ins and outs for next week? I don't know. The selectors are on the watch list.
Nah, Cross.
Why?
Too many tolls again. It's just stupid.
What should have they done?
Well,
I want answers, not just criticism.
Well, it's the SCG. It's smaller ground, lengthwise. They had to. It's all about pressure. They played too many tolls.
Yeah, I was actually thinking they might bring. I know they brought Banch in. They might even bring like a Geordie Payne and just go ultra small and mobile forward line with pressure.
Well, they should have.
Well, I thought our pressure was pretty good. It was up over 200 at stages. Fell off badly in the last quarter. And is that because we're a young team? Clarko mentioned we were the second youngest team. So I don't know who the youngest was. Probably Richmond or...
Probably Freo. They're always up there and they're a much better side.
Yes. We'll probably won. Well, I think we had to... They brought in the 2 rucks because they were worried about Grundy. And they thought obviously Teakle... They couldn't bring Teakle in to go on his own. And obviously, luckily, they didn't just bring CJ in because he broke down. Speaking of CJ, are we going to... What's this mean for him? Now, he's got a calf. And I've actually done a calf. And I only did a medium one, and it was 6 weeks.
Well, yeah. So
but I wasn't playing AFL.
It's more likely you weren't doing rehab 4 times.
No, I wasn't. So I reckon it's going to be at least 2 to 3 at best. So you won't be playing this week against Geelong.
No. So what time is it? It's time to get Big Taylor Goat out there.
Yeah, I think he has to play. I was happy they played CJ, but I wouldn't have been. I thought it would have been the wrong move to play Goad over CJ, but now CJ's out. I think Goad has to come in, and against Geelong, they're still playing 2, aren't they?
No, they have Shannon Neal as the backup ruck.
Yeah, what's the Stoople chaser? What's he do?
Oh, Blitzarf.
Yeah,
so he just
Blitzarf
plays everywhere.
Yeah, well, he goes in the ruck. Well, he used to. Last time I was watching him. And obviously they got Reece Stanley, who's not a great ruckman, but he's reasonably mobile. So I think Goad has to go there. Obviously, Teakle, Clarko said in his presser, was cramping at 3/4 time, so he will not be able to play a full game as a solo ruck at Marvel under the lid on the fast track. And which leaves you either go with him and Darling or bring in Goad. And I think, Goad's probably not quite ready, but I think he's ready enough. He had 40-odd hit-outs.
47 hit-outs yesterday.
Yeah, and against a bloke who was taken 2 or 3 spots higher in the draft, so same age. That was Green. He was rated the number 1 ruckman of that draft, and he beat him. And it's probably time. I mean, if nothing else, it'll give him a taste and see what he has to work on during the off-season, during the pre-season. Give him a taste of what it's like. And Geelong haven't got a great ruck. They're probably 2 of the worst rucks in the league.
Agreed.
Yeah, so it's not as if you're going up against a Grundy or a Max Gawn. All right, we'll move on. So I think CCJ, is he on the list next year?
Yes.
Yeah, I reckon they'll still keep. It depends on If it's just a standard calf, meaning 2 or 3, 4 weeks, and he'll be back and raring to go at the start of pre-season, maybe even a late game this year, I think they need to have a better look at him before they cut him. Because as we need someone other than Goad as a backup ruckman, and it's between him and Teakle.
Well, I'm picking him over Teagle, but his intensity needs a big look. He's the zombie.
Yeah.
That's his nickname. And he
Is that your nickname for it?
Oh, that's the club.
Is it?
Yeah, and for good reason. He's just sort of moping about. He needs to get a...
He needs to be one of these new age fast zombies. He's
Yeah.
like the old Night of the Living Dead. Mannequins barely walking.
Now, while we're at the watch list, I want to add. I think Dylan Stevens. I think he needs... He's 4 weeks of just nothing.
Was he on there earlier? I don't think
He was on there last year.
He was on there last year. We do wipe it clean every year, unless your name is engraved, like the North Lawyers. So they'll be on there forever. As I said, all right, Stevens is on.
And
I can't argue because he showed what he can do, and the last 4 weeks he hasn't been up to that standard. And you've got to maintain. You push the bar up, you've then got to maintain it. If you go under the bar, the watch list awaits you.
Well, even if you're 10% off, but he's fallen off a cliff. He had 10 touches yesterday.
Yeah, and none of them
were damaging.
No.
Right, and I've got an on notice
No.
for one of my boys.
This is becoming your watch
Yeah,
list.
it is. But Tom Powell, you've got to be more damaging. 24 useless again yesterday. He's having mid-20s and he's just not impacting the game.
Yeah, it worries me that we don't have... take LDU out. We don't have damaging midfielders.
Well, we do. One in the reserves who's coming back in next week if I'm coach, but anyway.
My boy Georgie.
Correct.
But he was in not great form before he got his concussion.
Yeah.
But he was best on for North in the VFL yesterday.
Right, so let's get to our player numbers. So episode 129, pretty easy one here today. Well, we've both gone with games record holder, club champion, Brent Boomer Harvey. Pretty easy one, Chief. Loved watching Boomer.
Yes. Now, you know I'm a draft nufty, right? So before all the internet and the AFL websites and everything, I used to buy the Herald Sun so I could look. They'd do a bit of a Kaltumi top 20 maybe, and then a few Smokies. And I was reading that, and we were a premiership type grand final side back then, so we weren't getting high in draft picks. And they had in the Smoky column Brent Harvey from, I think, Calder Cannon, Northern Knights he might have been.
Northern Knights.
And just had his little 4-sentence bio, and I thought, he'd be handy for North because we need a small forward type. And we got him at pick 46.
47.
47. I almost got there. And I was very happy. And, you can go on with the rest of his. He turned up looking like a jockey at his first training, and you keep going.
Yeah, well, I actually wanted to give him an autograph at training the first time. But what a player. Talk about getting everything you can out of yourself. One of the hardest trainers ever.
Yeah.
Every former player always identifies him as just next level preparation. The ultimate professional. Loved goals, loved 1-2s, competitor.
Hated losing.
He would be. He's very stiff. If you ask me my favourite player of all time, he's just behind Cunners.
Yeah. Yeah, he was great and loved a little sell the candy, particularly on the mark. If you're on the mark and Boomer's having a shot from around the 50, do not jump in the air. He'll make you look stupid, and he did that often.
But yeah, goal sneak, great set shot.
And you've got to remember back then, they could move on the mark.
Yeah.
They could run. So sometimes you get them going the wrong way and break their ankles.
He'd kick 60 goals a year now.
Yeah.
They just wheel round, you're guilty.
Yeah.
But yeah, Boomer, and then obviously now we get to see young Coop.
Yes, but yeah, Boomer, fantastic. Games record holder, multiple BNFs.
All Australian.
Multiple All Australians.
Came second in the Brownlow or third in 2007.
Yes. Because he suffers a bit from the North tax. It's not been talked about an all-time great enough.
Agreed.
Doesn't he? Like, I think Toby Green, your man, got an All-Australian over him where Boomer had already had 4, and obviously they wanted to throw a bit of trophy
towards the Giants.
And Boomer had him covered on all the stats. So very similar, but, He went to the Giants. He was a bit unlucky. He could have won. He could have had more jackets, but he was a great, and probably still be playing.
Well, we're not going to.
He's probably still playing some form of football.
Yeah, I saw him.
You wouldn't want to go.
He's played this year.
Yeah, I thought so. And you wouldn't want to go down the park and have a kick because it would be making you look silly. You take the ball off you and run around and get a few snags.
Yeah, there's no.
He just obviously just wants to compete and play.
He certainly does, and we're not going to talk about the ending because we're going to keep it upbeat. But
no, you could have played at least another year, at least one more year, and got to over 450. Not that it's about games records or anything, but
we finished third in the best and fairest.
I know. You could have played at least one. I'm saying.
Oh, it's a disgrace.
Anyway, a couple of honourable mentions for me. Phil Snake Baker back in the late 70s when I was just a wee little lad. Wee little chief, as you'd like to say. He was sit on people's shoulders for fun, and I had his poster in my room taking a hanger, I think, against Collingwood in the grand final.
There you go.
That was in my room. It was sponsored by Ansett. Do you know who Ansett are?
I know the Ansett Cup. That's what
Yeah,
it used to be called, the old pre-season cup.
Yeah, they were an airline.
Yeah.
And they went boom, boom. But yeah, I had his poster in my room for my primary school years, and Peter German. The Frog and I both like Peter German. He was a centreman type, very good player.
Right, let's get into our listener questions. Thanks again to everyone who sent them in. Plenty to choose from. So we'll get through quick fire as much as we can in the next sort of 10 to 15 minutes. But we'll start with Brett Crow, who says, "Sorry, Baz, I'm not sure Will Phil is up to it. Can you see him being a long-term player for us?" The answer was yes for so long, but I just don't think so. He was too fumbly yesterday. Our midfield is way too one-paced, and I think with the squeeze on contracts and list spots at the end of the season, I love Will. I was happy to see him get his 50th game. He's a true shin boner, loves the club, but I just can't see him in the blue and white next year, which hurts me to say. What say you?
Right. Pardon me. I would like, and we've discussed this off air, so now we'll discuss it on air, lay everything to bear. Can he play a forward role similar to West for the Bulldogs?
No, he's too slow.
But West isn't quick.
But he's not.
And West is a midfielder who couldn't make it in their midfield.
But he's taller than Will. Will's too small.
Right, so but West doesn't get it. He gets it on the ground, not on the air.
No, he does. He does.
Leads?
He does get on the lead as well. That's where Will wouldn't be able to do it.
Okay. Can he play?
No, he's too slow for the back line as well. He'd be Caleb Daniel.
Yeah, but out Daniel in Will Phil. They're like, 4 or 5 years younger.
Yeah, but the difference is Daniel's played backline his whole career. We saw Will get stuck on Cozzy.
Yeah, but Daniel didn't play on Cozzy. He's not going to get a Cozzy playing the back line. He's going to be more that half back. Well, who's the bloke from Essendon who's the number one pick who plays
McGrath.
back? Yeah, McGrath. Could he play that type of role?
Maybe, but I think...
I know you can't just find a position for him, but I just like to... It's like a bloke who's centre-half forward. Let's say Robbie Tarrant. Got injured, couldn't quite make it at centre-half forward. You try him in the back line. Marjack Dawes a bit the same. Try him in the back line, and all of a sudden, you found something.
No, I agree.
Before we dump him, I'd like to at least try him. Like George comes in this week. Can we try him this week? Half forward or half back?
Well, I'd like to see it.
I know it's hard against Geelong, who are top 4 team and got pace, and their forwards all get up and run back. So it's hard. It's just a question, because I don't think he's got a spot now midfield when we're all fit.
No, well, the problem is with this idea.
He's not in the first 5 or 6.
No, he's not. And the problem with this idea is there's just no time left, and with the squeeze on list spots, I just can't. I don't think they'll give him another year to develop unless they're going to start cutting contracted players.
Yeah, no,
because the squeeze.
I think you're right. I'm just throwing the idea out there. What do the listeners think? It's just trying to, before you throw him out, is there a gem there? Is there a role he could play?
Next up, we've got Matt Florence, who says, "Let's talk Harry. I love him. He's our future. He will be our skipper, but his errors are getting worse." Yeah, well, couldn't agree more.
Yeah, what was his efficiency? You said it earlier.
Well, I think he was 41% by foot, which he's supposed to be our lethal weapon.
Yep.
Yeah, he's just making too many simple mistakes. He's regressed, and he skipped the second year blues, but he's basically got the second year blues in year 3. I mean,
he's not horrendous,
No, he's still getting 26, and he had 26 kicked a goal yesterday. but he's not at the same level that he was in his first 2 years.
No.
And he's still playing well. So I don't want to speak down on him too much, like he's having a stinker. But he's set himself the highest of high bars.
Yep.
And unfortunately, he's only getting 80% of that at the moment.
And he's having to do it all in a poor team, which is what brings
why,
everyone down.
This is why I'm so glad that we didn't put the captaincy on him in year 3. Because can you imagine if he was captain at the moment in a 4-win team that was supposed to rise up the ladder
Yep.
with all this pressure and his own performance not being to the incredibly high standard that he set himself?
Yeah, no, that's right. I didn't want him captain. I know there was some chatter, but no.
Next up, Snake Coma says, I have worries for our list. Too many C- players that don't impact games. And I'll also say SC Mitch has said, I can only name 13 players who could be a part of our first final squad. Who are they? Be brutal. Now, we're just going to park that because post-season, we're going to have a deep dive on the list and who is part of our next Tilted Silverware and who isn't.
Yes, and I believe the North Melbourne Football Club and from Viney, Rawlings, maybe Clarko, have got us ahead of where we think we are. Or they think we're ahead of where we actually are. So, anyway, we'll have a deep dive into that. Off the cuff, we won't go through it because we're almost an hour already.
Yeah. Anthony Jury says, I still believe. Do you? I do, but my patience is wearing thin, as I'm sure a lot of North fans are.
Well, long-time boners will know we're pretty positive on this pod. We get down when we lose games we think we should win, and probably still positive. But like that last comment, we need to have a really hard look at the list and see who we think. The problem is we've got players like Bailey Scott, who were top 3 in the BNF, but I mean, we didn't think he was an A-grader when he was finishing top 3. We thought he was a solid B, and his best game would be B+, and his worst game would be C+. But now he's best game C-, most games D at the moment.
He's not even in the team.
Well, yeah, I know. So that's what I'm saying. It's players like that who have regressed too much. I mean, you have fluctuations through your career, but too many of those players who should be in their peak of their career because they've played 100 games, they're in the 24 to 26 age group, they're just not good enough. And players like CCJ just have not come on. Yes, he's had injuries, but even before his injuries, we didn't have him in our team. He was battling. People are arguing whether he should be the first ruck compared to X.
Yeah.
3 or 4 years ago?
No, last year.
Well,
Started last year.
Well, it was. The start of this pod, I think we had an argument.
Yeah, probably did.
Yeah, well, I backed the winner in that one.
Tim says, when's AFLW start? We're going to finish 17th FML. Well, yeah, can't wait for the AFLW.
Yes, that'll be a total different tone of pod when that's going around. We'll be reviewing wins.
That'll be nice. Fire through a few more here. Jacob Harkins, what game this year can you say was a 4-quarter performance? Something isn't working. Well, none. I've had to think about it. None of them have been 4-quarter performance.
What's our biggest win for the year?
Against Melbourne, when we won by 60.
Yeah, so that was probably, it was right in it to 3-quarter time, then that was the closest we've had. I mean, West Coast we probably should have lost. What else?
Richmond we should have lost.
Richmond we should have lost.
Carlton we nearly lost.
Can't we tried our best to lose? Fremantle we could probably say was a pretty good performance over there against a team that's better.
That was probably a good shout. That was probably the closest to a 4-quarter performance.
Yeah, and a couple of things went well for us that game. We could have pinched it or won it. Not pinched it. We would have deserved it. But next question.
Horace says that's got to be the worst game of the year for the forwards. Bad delivery some of the time, sure, but we could have won that. Yeah, no one fired. Zerha, my man, was quiet. PC was quiet. Darling, I thought was the best of the forwards. Chom didn't look likely at all.
Yep.
Even his set shots, which is a worry for mine, both missed. Coop was good, but
limited opportunities. Made the most of every one he got. Which you have to as a forward, and particularly a small forward. No, shout out to Horace. Got no idea who he is, but shares the same name as my grandfather.
Yeah, there you go.
An old school name.
His official tag is Horace was right. So he likes his work. I like it, the confidence.
Must be part of our family, because we're always right.
David says, what hobbies should I get into on the weekend that isn't football?
I don't know.
Golf. Well, you're a big golfer.
Yeah, golf, but I prefer footy over golf, but tell you what, my golf isn't great, but it's going better than the Kangas this year.
Well, I like this from Dan. He says, are we excited for the Ashes? Well, we're in a bit of trouble there as well.
Can we find an opener?
Top order's garbage.
Can we find an opener?
Well, the Ashes is going to rely on one man.
Your man?
Yep.
Steve Smith, for those playing along.
Steve Smith. If he doesn't make hundreds, we're in trouble.
Well, I think
it's him and Trav.
It relies on the bowlers and it relies on the curators to actually give the bowlers a bit of juice. But unfortunately, they've got the big Jofra.
Yeah, he'll break down.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. No, well, we don't like players being injured, but he'll destroy us if we... I reckon.
Agreed. Back to footy. North Storm says this postseason is shaping as a critical junction if we are to progress. Simply can't go down the same path with off-field recruiting, free agency, and on-field game plan. Go hard. Use the fabled war chest or never break out of this cycle. No one wants to come because we're not winning. And
well, there's no one left.
Yeah.
I don't want TDK.
No, God no.
Who else is that?
Well, I was saying to you, we should be looking at the depth of Brisbane because they've got so much talent on that list and see who's gettable there.
Yeah.
Like a Cal Archie still hasn't signed.
Yeah.
Someone like that.
Yeah. And because we've traded out our first round pick, we haven't got a lot of draft capital to lure anyone half decent. So we're going to have to go for your Fishers, your Stevens, those types who
got enough
are
of them.
borderline. But to replace the Bailey Scotts, the Will Fields, someone who you think there's a bit better or a positional need.
I agree, 100%.
We'll look into that more in the off season too as to who we can target. It's a bit hard off the cuff, but we need to get some more depth players in because we picked 30 in the 2 picks in the 30s is going to do it. We need we can trade out next year's pick, but we've got to get something back to pay for Sam Harris and hopefully McCartney.
Young Aiden. Nicholas Pascoe says, how many more wins do you think North could get this year? Oh,
2 max, St Kilda and Richmond.
They're the only winnable ones, I reckon.
Well, I mean, we're going over for Geelong this weekend, and
which the club's screwed us on, which we'll get to in the preview by changing the date.
Yes, but I mean, I'm looking forward to watching North as always, but I'm not hopeful of celebrating with an ale after. I'll probably commiserate with an ale. And I think the Saints and Richmond. Who else we got? GWS. Well, they've found form.
Yeah.
Adelaide. Well, they're a top 4
flogged.
side, and they'll be fighting for a top. They'll have to win and probably even get a bit of percentage to get a top 4 spot.
Yeah, look, there's a couple of games there that could get ugly against real contenders. So we just have to win against Richmond. Like St Kilda, we can't seem to ever beat, and that I do not rate them at all. But Richmond's the one because that's an 8-point game. That's going to really probably be whether we finish 16th or 17th.
Yeah, and we'll be at that game, last game ever at Boot Park / Ninja Stadium.
All right, well, we've gone a bit longer than I thought, so thanks everyone for the questions. We might read some more out on the preview pod. Don't forget you can send in voice messages and we'll hear your voice on the pod. Send them to shimbonuspodcast@gmail.com. We'll be back to preview a really tough game against the Cats coming up this Saturday night, although Tom Stewart got subbed out injured today, so hopefully they don't play him because we'll just kick it straight to him.
I was going to say, who are we going to kick it to?
Yeah.
We'll just find him every time.
Jack Henry, we'll find someone.
Yeah, we'll find someone. No, we'll be a bit positive. It's a new day, a new start.
All right, make sure to subscribe on whatever platform you're at. We're at 496 on YouTube, so if you want a chance at a prize pack, make sure you get in ASAP.
4 more we need, and then we do the draw.
Yep.
What's in the prize pack?
You get a beanie, a hat.
A beanie? I haven't got a beanie yet.
No, you're not getting one either.
Okay.
Anyway, you will see when it comes out on the
surprise.
socials. Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. Till next time, Can the Kangas.
Thanks, guys. Talk soon. Go Roos!
Good old North Melbourne, the champions you'll agree. North Melbourne is the team that plays to win.